All right, also we're here. We're continuing on our lesson, and we're going to talk a little bit about an issue of police integrity, right? And so before we do that, right, we'll start with maybe some truths about society, right? Things that maybe things we know, but we don't necessarily like acknowledge, right? They're sort of unspooky. And I say this because this is related to a research topic that I have, right, or that I'm considering. So it's on my mind. What can I say, right? You do know what one of the biggest truths of society is, right? Something that is true no matter what, right? Obviously that, we have death, right? This is a truth, right? We know eventually, our time is limited on this planet, right? Eventually, at one point, maybe soon after we're born, maybe, like 70, 80, 90, 100 years down the road, eventually we die, right? Our plants die, our pets die, whatever, right? We know death happens, right? We also know, if we follow the old adage, right, is that there are taxes, right? Where we know we're going to have to pay. We go to the grocery store, we get a Arizona iced tea, maybe a green tea version of that. We know we're going to pay tax on that. We go to the grocery store, we got to do that. We buy a property, we have property taxes, like anything, right? Sales tax, whatever, right? We know if we live in California, there's going to be an income tax, right? It's not true in Texas, but, maybe that'll change one day. Hashtag don't California my taxes. That's actually a real thing. You can Google it yourself. Don't California my taxes. I don't give a care. I don't care anymore because I live in California. But the other thing that stands out, something that is so true, something that people don't even want to admit, and something that people will lie about, is the fact that people lie, right? People will lie about the fact that they don't, about the fact that they lie, right? Even though that's true in every day. And if you think about all the things that we lie about, right? We think we lie about our sex lives, and that goes down to, how many partners we have, who we're having sex with, how often we're having sex, and so on, right? That goes down to political affiliation, right? Where maybe we don't want to, comment or commit on who we actually voted for. Fun fact, in the 2016 election, right, people were lying about who they intended to vote for. How do I know this? Well, they would do like phone surveys, and they would call someone up. They'd be like, "Hey, who do you vote for? Who do you plan to vote for in the upcoming election?" This is with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And if you talk to a person, people would say like Hillary Clinton, right, or be more inclined to say Hillary Clinton. But if a robot person called, so a robocall, some people are more inclined to say that they intended to vote for Donald Trump, right? So they didn't necessarily want to admit to a person that they would vote for Donald Trump, but they would admit it to a robot because it's not a real human being. We do it as kids, right? When mom asks, like, "How was your day at school?" Right? We lie about it. It was fine. We learned a lot. Never mind the fact that someone stole your holographic Pokemon Charizard card off the playground, and you can't ever get it back, and you don't know what to do with that, right? Or you decided to scope out your girlfriend. You picked a blue bonnet, and you gave it to Jenny. Jenny rejected you because she doesn't want you, so now you're feeling real bad on one and all alone, right? We know that people lie, right? They lie about their diet when they go to the doctor, like, "Oh, are you staying fit? Are you exercising? You following like a good diet?" Things like that. We know people lie about that. They do lie about it, right? And this is something that is a fundamental truth about the human condition. So when we have this fundamental truth, we know people lie, right? And we know we lie about everything, sometimes for good reason, sometimes for not, sometimes to protect someone, sometimes not. The list goes on, right? The point being is that we know that this is a segment of human society, right? Now, the thing is, right, is that, maybe there are things that people are less willing to lie about than others. But there are some things that people, certainly know better, right? For example, right, when you think about like a list experiment, if you don't know what that is, you can Google it for like racism, right? The reason why list experiments even exist is because people aren't going to admit like racist thoughts, right? So if you want to know about racism in this country, right, you have to like trick people into doing it, right? So with this list experiment kind of thing, right, we know people lie. And this is certainly true related to police misconduct, right? A preeminent fundamental problem in this country, and something that always seems to pop up every few months down the road, right? Obviously, all officers are not, brutal individuals who are abusing the rights of other people. I'm not saying this to suggest that, but we know there are issues of police misconduct that exist in the society. And it's very important, right? Because as we've discussed many times in this course, right, this has, implications for the lives of everyone they come in contact with. It has implications for corruption and allowing criminal elements to run rampant. And it has issues in the sense of it affects police legitimacy and having faith in a police department and their ability to carry out the law. And it also, depending on what the case is, right, has, brings about issues related to faith and retribution for police misbehavior, that can run the gamut, right? So also injustice as well, right? So police misconduct is one of these fundamental problems that we want to know more about, but we can't ask officers about it, right? Why is that? Because officers work in it. They're not going to admit to some police misconduct, right? And so it really becomes this issue then, because we know it plays a critical role for police institutions, for our society, our perceptions of them, how effective police are in affecting their job. So when we talk about issues of police integrity, then what we're really trying to do about this then is to get at this core idea of police misconduct, right? So what this series of videos is going to do is to explore that nuance of police integrity and how it's aimed and designed to pursue police misconduct. So with that, we'll continue and pick this up in the next set of videos.